So today we're going to be working on an old leaf blower that has been sitting for a while. If you remember of that video that we did on that buy that I got for like 5 leaf blowers and that snapper, this was out of the pile. Also, I got a sweater on because it's the only shirt I have. But what it needs is a carb swap, and it needs a clean. Because it's been sitting for probably months and hasn't ran. And I got a Torx bit that hopefully fits. Yes, it does. Thank God. I am so glad I don't have to set you guys down and go look for the bit. But we're going to be working on my table. Wow. We're going to be working on my table. First time forever. But we're going to be working on the carburetor. I don't have the air filter for this because I don't know where it is. So please leave me alone. We're going to put all these screws, put this cover right here, and then set this right there. Set that right there. And also the fuel cap I found. I don't know why the fuel tank is loose. It shouldn't be. Normally I would split this whole thing because it's got Torx screws on it, but I don't want to. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off that, pull out the spark plug. Now, I haven't touched this. Well, at least I don't think I have. I can't remember. This spark plug doesn't look that bad. It's got some deposits on it, though. And I got the flu today, so my voice is a little raspy. Well, it turns. Well, at least it does that. So we're gonna set you guys down and we're gonna start working on this leaf blower. Now, I think the last time it ran, the guy said, the guy that I bought, my friend that I bought this from, he said it's been sitting in the pile for about, he said about for 2 years, so it hasn't been running in almost 3 years. It's got a primer bulb on it, which is still good. So, who knows, this might run. It turns over really nice, and that ain't the right muffler. That came off of something else. This thing's got mold on it. Mold and mildew. But that's alright. You know. It's not a supercar, right? Alright, so I'm gonna take the nozzle off. And there we go. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start by removing the carburetor. I'll be right back. I gotta go get a thing to hold the bit. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got a screwdriver that I can use for this, so I guess the first thing we're doing is we're going to take this carburetor off, and it has the 2 bolts, and what you're supposed to do, these 2 bolts right here and right here, you're going to want to unscrew those, and the carburetor will just fall off randomly, but it's just the wind. Pull those 2 screws out. Don't lose them because these screws are important. And don't think you're going to go to a store, a hardware store, and be finding those bolts because those bolts are pretty hard to find. Oh god, these lines are hard and dry rotted. Looks like someone's messed with it. These mosquitoes everywhere. Well, these fuel lines are hard as a rock, but they'll last. It's alright. Alright, so now we got the carburetor. And now we can tear it apart. So what we're going to need is a flathead bit. I'll go ahead and put this back. Excuse me. And we're going to take off the bottom metering diaphragm. Now this bottom right here, there's 2 screws right here. They're flat. They can accept a flathead and a Phillips, so don't be afraid that it can only accept one tool. So you're going to want to unscrew the 2 screws. Now, usually when you have a small engine with 2-stroke fuel set for a long time, it will build up. Okay. So this diaphragm is still good. If you want to know how it's still like usable, it should be bendy. Like, should be really bendy. You know, it should be really bendy, and it should move. If it's hard as a rock, you're going to want to replace that, or the cheapest way to do it is by soaking it in brake fluid for about a few days, and it should return to its, like, bendiness. Or floppiness, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so there's 2 screws on the top where the primer bulb is. You're going to want to take that off. I feel sick as hell, but, you know, I gotta do this. Alright, so pull those 2 screws out. Somewhere where you won't lose it. Pull off this little cover, or the little plate. You'll see, this will pull off. And there's a diaphragm and gasket. So the diaphragm and gasket, they look good. Oop. What did I drop? Oh, I dropped a gasket. Okay. It's for the metering diaphragm. Alright. So, we're going to have to do a carburetor swap, because this one is very not good. So, luckily, I got another carburetor right here. It's a used carburetor. I know that ain't my dog barking. If you heard that, that's probably the neighbor's dog. So, I'm not cleaning this because I cleaned this 5 or 6 times and it would not run right. It would bog down and stall. But I'm going to still show you how to clean a carburetor. So I got to go get a pail or a little pan and a brush to scrub it with. So I'll be right back again. Alright. We got a pan now. This is what we're going to use to scooch everything to the side. Anyway, this is the carburetor that we're going to use. So put that in, and what I use is 2-stroke fuel. I don't use carburetor cleaner, because that's just stupid to use carburetor cleaner on a component that has rubber bits on it. So you're going to want to take a brush or something. You want to stick through these little passageways. Make sure they're clear. Which in turn they are. I'm going to thoroughly scrub it. I'm not washing it, I'm cleaning it. That's why it's called a carb clean. And again, stick the little bristles or wire through the little passageways. Make sure they're clear, because if they aren't clear, it's not going to run right. Now, I don't know if this carburetor is any good, but I know it was good, because I bought it used. Still looks usable, too. I can see through that, so... This other carburetor, I'm just going to go ahead and soak it. Probably get it like a pot of boiling soapy water. Like, soak it. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is another problem that I dealt with, is when you primed it, it didn't push the fuel out. It acted like there was something clogged in it. So, I'm going to go ahead and get my pail again. Throw that carburetor away, I don't need it. So, I'm going to go ahead and scrub this primer bulb because it was dirty. Yeah, look at that. Alright, so I'm going to want to wipe this primer bulb. Okay, so I can see it. Make squeaky noises. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. So I'm going to take this off. My bandage is just falling off. Screw that. So I'm going to go ahead and soak this. See if I can blow through it. I can't blow through it. That's not good. And that might be the reason why, because I can see some dirt in this little port. Yeah, that's not good. Let me go ahead and put some fuel in this bulb and put the bulb on. See if it'll pump through. It'll pump through, but not a lot. Yeah, that's not good. It's spraying at me more than spraying out of the discharge. Look. I'm pushing as hard as I can. Like, here, I'll fill it up again. Now watch the end of this thing. The output tube. See how it's squirting out of the same more than out of the discharge? So that means that this piece is clogged, or it's bad. So that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. So I have to search for another one. Because usually that... Oh, yeah, look at that. It's got gunk in it. Got a ton of gunk just came out. Usually, I'm gonna go ahead and just swap that. But I don't know where the other one is, so I'm just gonna use it. It'll still prime, but it just won't discharge. Oh, yeah, it just squirted at me. That's not good. Alright, so to put this back on, the diaphragm and gasket. Get this little piece right here. And you're going to want to do the process in reverse. Is by putting the One right there. Excuse me. And then we're going to put the primer bulb on. Now, I don't know how long this hasn't ran for, but I know it was a long time. And I don't want to lose that screw. There's one. There's two. I'm going to put that on. I don't know how long it's been since this thing had a good service, but I'm pretty sure that was years ago. Alright, so you're going to want to put the screws back in, so just screw them in snug. Don't put them in tight, or else you'll have a chance of stripping them out. Like damaging the threads. Just put them in snug, not too tight. Should pump. Yep, there we go. You're going to want to take the gasket and metering diaphragm. You're going to want to put the gasket on first and then the metering diaphragm. I don't know which way it goes. I'm just flying blind. Alright, and then put these little tiny screws in. They should just fall in. Now this, apparently someone has beaten me to this. And this is an adjustable carburetor, so they beat me to it. And they ground some slots into this with a Dremel. Because you need a special tool to adjust the carburetor jets. The low and the high speed jet. Apparently, I think someone beaten me to it. Because it looks, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's cut off with a cutoff wheel from a Dremel. I don't have a Dremel, so don't think I'm like playing around. I'm not. Alright, carburetor's back together. I'm gonna go ahead and top one on. Look at that. Look at this line. It's all tiny and hard. Now, it had a gasket. Where did the gasket go? Uh-oh. No. Don't tell me I just lost that. Okay, there it is. Oh my god, I'm going to have a heart attack one day. I'm not going to put the housing of the air filter on because I don't have the air filter for it, so might as well keep it safe. But once I find the air filter for it, I will gladly put the air filter back on. Alright, now I need the Torx bit. And we'll go outside and see if she'll start. I believe she hasn't ran in a while. Snug it down. Snug it down. Alright. So now it's all on, it's adjusted. And we're gonna put I'm gonna go ahead and put the spark plug in, and we'll go outside and see if she'll crank over. I think she will. Alright, so got that in. It's on finger tape, but that's alright. Because that's all we ever need. Alright, let's take this with us. The dark path. So I'm gonna sit guys down right here. And we'll go ahead and start it. But I need fuel. That's what I need. Good old yard fuel. I don't know if this will run, but she should. Put a little in there, not a whole lot. Come on, baby, prime. I think I got the fuel lines mismatched. I got them mismatched. That one there. That one there. I don't know which way they came on. Let's put the cap on and see. Yep, there we go. That's leaking fuel everywhere. There we go. It's priming. Let's see if she'll run. So I'm going to put it on choke, full throttle. Half choke. Oh, I think the throttle broke. No. The spring broke. It broke. Well, that's great. Let's prime it again. Alright. Throttle. The thing fell over and burnt me. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I gotta get water on it, though. Aye, that hurts. Well, at least this thing runs. Let's see if I'll fire up. Yes, it will. Alright, well, that's how you clean a carburetor, I guess. We'll see you later.